Welcome to Doron Yoga, everyone. Today we'll work on balancing, a balancing yoga class. So when we say balancing, the first thing that usually comes to mind is tree pose. And indeed, we'll work on balancing on one leg, etc. But I want us to really think about balancing as balancing yin and yang, balancing on one leg, and balancing the mind. Because balancing poses help us steady the mind. Half the time when we fall, it's not because of the leg not doing its functioning, but it's because the mind wandering. So, one of the things we'll focus on today is having a steady drishti, gaze, and if you haven't already, please do our yoga class for balancing and focus. So, steadying the mind helps steadying everything else. Steadying the gaze, keeping the gaze soft with the peripheral vision, helps steady the mind. Are you ready? Let's come to the hands and knees and we'll begin. Starting with a bit of deliciousness, just to warm up. Any class, no matter if it's calisthenics, yogasthenics, or whether it's balancing, it's always good to warm up a little bit. So just moving the hips in circles up and down and all around, going into the elbows, shoulders, really whatever feels good for you. Finding some fluidity, as if you just drank a smoothie and it's now fluid within your spine, helping you become more and more flexible. Beautiful. Coming back to neutral. Keep the hips over the knees. Walk the hands forward into a downward puppy. Lower down the head, maybe the forehead, maybe the chin. Beautiful. Coming up to all fours one more time. We'll start with taking the right leg back behind. And trying to balance right away. Take the left arm forward. Remember, steady the mind and steady, I'll say drishti. Hopefully you'll remember that that's steadying the gaze, the look, whatever you're seeing. Keep it soft, the gaze. Keep the mind empty as can be. Keep the belly tucked in and up. And as you exhale, bring the knee in, bring the elbow in. Exhale, everything in. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, slow and steady movement. In, reach out. 2, exhale. 3, 2 more. 4, and 5. Keep the belly tucked. Try to tuck in, lift up the pelvic floor, and then maybe reach back. If you can, get the foot. If you can't, just fake it. And open up a little more, makes it a little harder to balance. So the lifting of the belly, the lifting of the pelvic floor, I'll just say bandhas because they are very, very important for our balance. Release, arm forward, and release all the way down. Good news, here we go. Side 2, left leg up. And try to lift the right arm. Hold here for a few moments. You can check your bandhas again, pelvic floor and belly. Lifting in, engaging slightly. Soft gaze, exhale, bring it all in. Inhale. 1. Exhale. Inhale. 2. Exhale. Inhale. 3. Exhale. 4. And 5. Hold for a moment. A little more bandha, calm the mind, maybe hand back, maybe holding the foot. Open up, a little warm up for the spine. Why not? Arm forward and release. Beautiful, let's go into downward dog. I know it's not balancing, not everything needs to be balancing. Just warming up here a bit. If it's too much, you got a cold, it doesn't feel good for you, you can be in downward puppy. Bring the right leg up to the sky. And as you exhale, bring the foot between the hands. Lower the left knee down. Bring the hands either to the ground, the knee, or maybe the hips if available. Sinking deeply. Low lunge. Yeah, soon you will also add G and E to the end of names of poses because they'll be so lovely. You'll have nicknames. Sink a little deeper. Lift the chest, maybe hands down. See what feels good for you. And here we go. We're going to go right, combining warm-up 1 with warm-up 2. So, tuck the back toes. You can use the hands down. You can use the hands at the knees, or I'd say try to balance. Bring them to the hips. Again, find whatever's right for you. Focus the mind. Press into the back foot. Lift the back knee off the ground. Are you focused? If you need to, you can shorten or move the right foot a bit to the right. Exhale. Bend the left knee. Maybe tap the ground. Inhale slowly up. Exhale. Down. Inhale, straighten 2. Exhale. Slow and steady. Keep the mind steady. Exhale. 4. Keep the gaze relaxed, the face relaxed. One more for good measure. Beautiful. Meeting in high lunge. Bend the front knee. Take the arms up over the head if you can. Open, lift the chest. Give it a little bit of a back bend. Maybe be courageous and smile. And then bring the hands down to the ground. Step it back to plank. Hold for a moment. Just feel your plank. Feel the steadiness from which we will build the ability to remove some of the limbs while we're in plank. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga. You can use the knees. Inhale, upward facing, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath, let everything calm down. Re-steady your mind, Zen mind. Left foot up, left leg between the hands, foot down, right knee down. Your variation of low lunge. Again, it's okay to keep the hands down on the knee or maybe even at the hips. Hips sink low, heart space lifts, shoulders relaxed. Eyes really see if you can keep the balance between being focused, yang yi, but also yin at the same time. You soften the eyes and you start to see through the peripheral vision. It's interesting, but that kind of focus is actually more beneficial because when you've got laser beam focus, if the dot you're looking at, God forbid it's a human being or a moving river cane, they will distract you. But if it's soft enough, then even if something's moving in front of you, you'll be able to stay steady. Can you hear the sound of your breath? Are you ready? Here we go. Tuck the back toes. Hands maybe to the hips. Lift up. And then bend the right knee. And straighten both. Bend. And inhale. Exhale. And inhale. Slow and steady. High lunge. Arms up. If you look down at the ground, it's a bit easier for balance. If you look up, it's a little more challenging. Hands down to the ground. Step it back to plank. With or without the knees, lower chaturanga. Inhale, shine through. And exhale, downward dog. Beautiful, everyone. Walk the feet to the front. Take the feet hip width apart, just hang for a few moments. Release the hands, bend the knees, rolling slowly up to standing. Head is last. Beautiful. Let's do one sun salute. Feet together. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, step or jump back. Inhale, shine through, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Balance. The right pressure, both hands pressing, rooting, and heels pressing, rooting, right? Don't work only the shoulders or only the legs. Finding the balance in the right effort, as Buddha taught us back then. Look between the hands, belly tucks in, look forward, jump or step, lengthen, and exhale, surrender, release. Inhale, rise all the way up, look up. Follow the hands with your gaze for steadiness. Bending the knees, Utkatasana. Utkatasana, a little more challenge for balance. Lift the heels up. Waba. 3, 2, 1. Lower the heels. Lift the right leg up. Take the arms into Karate Kid version and balance. If it's too easy for you, lift the left heel off the ground. Ai Chihuahua. One of the important things in a balancing class is to be willing to fall, to smile, and come up again. If we always stay in our safe zone, we'll not progress. So here we go. Last 3 breaths. Everybody try to lift the heel. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Okay, lower. Oh no, we have second side. Lift me up. And breathing. Breathing. Here we go. Last 3. Try to lift the heel. Maybe breathe. Lower the heel down, lower the left foot down, back up, Utkatasana. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Right foot between the hands, left heel down. Inhale, slowly up to Warrior One. Hands to the heart. A little twist to the right. Adding optional, a little back bend if you like. Back up to the warrior. Hands to the heart. We're going to do B1-2 combo. Right foot to the right. Hands slowly go behind the back, either clasping hands or a strap. Inhale, lengthening. And exhale, coming forward. Humble warrior, in a way, is a balancing pose as well, especially if it's a bit too tight for you and you lift, and you can try it today if you want. Lift the back heel as if it's in the high lunge version. 2, 1. Inhale, come back up, Warrior One. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Slowly. Inhale and exhale. Beautiful, everyone. Let's do the second side. Left foot forward, Warrior One. Slow and steady, hands to the heart. Twist over to the left side. Optional, right arm up. Inhale, back to the warrior. Exhale, hands to the heart. Move the left foot to the left. Either clasp hands or strap. If the shoulders are a bit tight, it's a good idea. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, forward fold. Over time, try to square the hips, which again, if you've decided to try today to lift now as you're here, the back heel, you'll see it's way harder to balance. But it's easier to square the hips. Inhale, slowly coming up. Exhale, hands down, Chaturanga Dandasana. We'll do one more balancing here. We're going to work on crow poses, Bakasana. So come forward with your knees. Try to place the knees close to the armpit and shift the weight forward. And then maybe the feet lift, maybe not. Just challenging for a moment to be a bit unstable. 3, 2, 1, Chaturanga. Inhale, happiness. Exhale, down dog. Here we go, one last set of warriors. We're going to come forward, right foot, left heel down, slowly up to the warrior 1. Look at your right hand, slow and steady, open warrior 2. Keeping the mind balanced. Steady here for a moment. And really find the balance between power, really reach the fingertips, and some softness. There's a bit of lightness, like your arms are on water. Your eyes are balanced between focus and softness. Reverse the warrior. Maintaining the Ujjayi breath. Coming back to warrior 2. Extended side angle. Left arm over the head. If you want to try, maybe lift the right arm up too. Just for 3 breaths. Ninja version. 2, 1, back up to warrior 2. Straightening the front leg. Reaching forward, Trikonasana, triangle pose. Wrap the left arm behind the back. If you want, you can take the gaze down. We're going into half moon. We'll do this a few times back and forth. So focus, and as we come to balance, try to maybe shift in 1 step. If you need to, 2 or 3. Hand can be on the ground. It's okay if you're using a block. Over time, maybe, try to lift the hand to half namaste. Reach back, warrior 2. Here we go again, reaching forward, half moon. Remember any hand variation that works for you. Back, warrior 2. One last time, coming forward. Back, warrior 2. Chaturanga Dandasana. Exhale as you go down. Right away we'll go with the left foot forward, right heel down, up to the warrior 1. Virabhadrasana. Look at your left hand, slow and steady, open warrior 2. Taking a few breaths here. Again, yin and yang, balance. Balance of energy, of effort and softness. Reverse the warrior. Back to warrior 2. Extended side angle. And maybe if you've taken before, take with us the ninja variation just for 3. Both arms up in the sky. 2, 1. Back to warrior 2. Straightening the front leg. Trikonasana, triangle pose. Wrapping the right arm behind the back. And we're going to transition to the half moon. Slowly. Back to warrior 2. Twice more, coming forward. Warrior 2. Last one. Warrior 2. Hands down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Look forward, jump forward. Lengthen, Take the feet hip width apart, forward fold. If you'd like, hold the elbows. Just really allow everything to relax. Feel free to bend the knees as much as you need to, a little bit or a ton, it's okay. As we balance the mind by staying steady with the breath, by staying steady and at the present moment. Release the hands, bend the knees, rolling slowly up to stand. Beautiful. Prasarita Padottanasana, opening the foot to the side. Feet are parallel. Hands are on the hips. Inhale, create length. Exhale, forward fold, hands to the ground. Then go as wide as you need to, bend the knees as much as you need to. Most of us will stay here for a while. For those of you that want to do the balance craziness, you can come up to tripod headstand if it's in your practice. If not, obviously just stay as you are. Any variation from here, tripod into crow, or just stay as you are. If you've lowered down to crow, come back up. If you're in tripod headstand, slowly legs back to the ground. Let's all lengthen the spine. Take a moment here. And then either fold back down, and this is just a little break, or if there's room, Konasana, start to take the legs wider. Sama actually means equal, steady, even, balanced. So it's not balancing on one leg, but it's balancing both sides of your legs as we stretch them. Right? If there's room, you can lower to the forearms. If not, no, that's okay. And we'll stay here for not too long, so just try to right away have a sense of surrender and release in the mind, in the holding on, in the tension. Really let yourself just simply be. Gorgeous. Now to the hard part, coming out of the pose, right? We're going to try and return to Prasarita distance. So one way or another, heel toe your feet, a little narrowing the stance. And then lengthen the spine. Exhale, bring the hands to the hips. Inhale, rise, come all the way up. And step it back to Sama Sthiti. Gorgeous, everybody. We'll take the hands behind the back. If you can, take the reverse namaste, please. Otherwise, you can hold the elbows. Inhale, stay tall, step the right foot back, adjust the hips to the front, lengthen, and with an exhale, forward fold. Activate your bandhas, feel the pelvic floor lift, the belly coming a bit in and up. Come up halfway and transition, shift your weight forward, warrior three. Maybe consider bringing the hands to the heart here. For 3, 2, 1. Coming up, chest up, right leg forward and through. If you can't, straighten the leg. If you need to, bend the knee. Keep the balance. Back to warrior 3. If you can, skip touching the ground. Back up to stand, right leg again forward in front of you, hold, bandhas. Last one, warrior 3. We're going to try this time to take the hands to the ground. Bend the left knee as much as you need to, really. I'm bending mine, you can bend a ton. Standing splits, but more than working on your hamstrings today, try to work on balance. Maybe left hand to left ankle, maybe not. Maybe go very wild and both hands to the ankle. Super challenging for some of us, for me at least. We be Both hands down, slowly coming up, chest up, and release. Cool. Second side. Take the hands behind the back. Left foot goes back. Hips adjust to the front. Inhale, tall. And exhale, forward fold. Ujjayi breath, bandhas. Here we go. Lift halfway. Steady the gaze. Transition warrior 3. Maybe hands to the heart. Chest up, left leg through and forward in front of you. Hold. Warrior 3. Standing. Left leg forward. Last one. Warrior 3. Hands down. Variation of standing splits. Again, if you want to play, maybe right hand, right ankle, maybe not. Maybe both hands. Good. Slowly coming up. And release. Good. Shake it away. Whew. Nice work, everybody. Good. Samastitihi. Just a few more standing bouncing poses before we hit the ground. So we're going to start with cappuccino. Cappuccino similar to tree, but more in the hip opening. So we're going to start with right ankle on top of left thigh, just right over the knee, moving the hips back and down. This is great because it strengthens the leg and opens the hips. Flex in the right foot to protect the knee. Hands are at the heart. Try to keep the chest up, hip down. Again, back and down, breathing. Now, I imagine that most of us will just stay here, and this is really amazing. If you want to play with an arm balance, just to give you extra playtime, you can take the Galavasana, which means the right knee goes towards the right armpit, right foot hooks over the left. You can just practice shifting the weight forward, hold for 1 breath, maybe 5 breaths. If you can, straighten the left leg. 2, 1. Slowly, we're going to, with control, try to come back up to standing. And release. 1 more side to go. I know it's hard sometimes to hear option and not to take it, but I really want to encourage you to always feel amazing that you're doing something. Right? In some classes, I'm in cappuccino standing on the right leg, left leg, hips, left side, hips and leg are bent and stretching. Sometimes we get to the point where we feel, oh, I can't do it, I'm no good. But remember, these are just options because everybody is at a different level at a different day. Here we go. Stay there and enjoy, or take the arm balance. Slowly release. And again, with control, we're going to come back up. Release. We're going to do 1 more standing balancing pose here. We're going to take the tree pose, Vrikshasana. And we're going to play and try to do the hopping tree, which is a bit crazy. Take a quick look before we go practice. We're going to be in tree, and we're going to try and hop around to one direction, and then we'll do the other direction, okay? Totally normal to fall all the time. Just smile and come back up. It's just for fun, okay? So here we go. Right foot up, left leg is on the ground. Take a moment, keep the hands at the heart. Steady your mind, steady your breath and gaze. Here we go. We'll go and jump to the right. Ready? And jump. Keep going. Back to center. Hold for a moment. Release. Good job. Good news, we have a second side. Three, steady, and hopping to the left. Try to stabilize and release. Here we go. On our way down to the ground, we'll practice a little more stabilizing on the toes. So try to lift to the tippy toes. Bandhas, steady the gaze. Take the arms up over the head and try to hold here for 5. 3. 4. Slowly forward fold. Stay on the tippy toes. Slowly forward fold. Good. Stay on the tippy toes. Lengthen the spine. And exhale, jump back. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. And exhale, downward facing. Okay, let's go for a side plank. So we're going to come right hand down, either right knee down, or if you can, both knees up. Lift up for a moment. And hold here for 3, 2, 1. Switch, left hand down. Hold here for 3, 2, 1. We're going to try and do these flips a few times. So go over to the right and go over to the left. Do this at your own pace a few more times. Beautiful. Meeting in plank. Hold plank for one more moment again. Lower down to your forearms. Lift the right leg. Try to lift the left arm for 3, 2, 1. Lower. Switch. Left leg, right arm. 3, 2, 1. Forearm dolphin. So forearm downward dog. And lower to your knees. Okay, so we're going to play a little bit in some playtime, and we'll take here quite a few options, really anything that's fun for you to balance. Let's start with first balancing on the arms with optional balancing on the head. So what I'm talking about is you can work on your crow pose, crow into headstand, tripod headstand. You can do side crow, as I imagine you'll see some of the folks here doing. And you can just work on side crow opening. If you're not sure what to do, just take either headstand, headstand, or a crow pose, okay? Here we go. Let's practice just for a few moments. Give you a bit of freedom. I'm going to work on tripod headstand into side crow or into the Dvipada Kundinyasa. So here we go. If you've taken one side and you still have another side, go. If you need a break, take some child's pose. Go ahead and practice the other side. If you need to for side crow, I'll give you a quick guidance since the lovely folks here are doing it. So just remember, you have to really twist from the thoracic, from the back, and then from the hips. And when you're doing it, you got to really shift weight forward, 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 and look a little forward. Some of you straighten the legs, some of you scissor the legs. Right? You can release down or take the jump back to chaturanga. If you've done both sides, you can rest in child's pose. Or if you don't want child's pose, you can rest in downward dog. making it a bit more power class. Up to you. Either way, we'll meet in downward dog. Look between the hands. We're gonna, not jump through to the seat, but jump to the knees. We're gonna do our back bends on the knees today. So we'll make it a bit of a balance thing too, kind of. So just start with the hands at the hips. Lift up the chest and start to go back into a half camel pose, half Ustrasana. We're not taking the hands away from the hips. They're gonna stay on the hips. Just lift the chest, let the head go. For some, this may be quite intense. I can feel it. Inhale, come up. Okay, if you need a child's pose, take it for a moment. Otherwise, we're moving right along. We're going to take the right hand, either to the heel. If it's too much, keep it on the hip. And then left arm up. And we're going to balance left and right. Balance of weight, hips moving forward as the chest lifts up and the head falls back. Inhale, rise, come up. Take a moment to release any dizziness if you may have it. And then second side, left hand down or at the hips. Right arm over the head, hips moving forward, chest lifts, head falls back. Inhale, come up. Let's all take child's pose, please. Take your knees wide. Coming back up, last one. So you can take the full camel if you like. If you want to take the variation with the hands at the heart, we're not going for Kapotasana. I mean, you're welcome to. But I'm just going to lift up and take the hands towards the heart or the face. And try to hold and breathe here for 5-6 breaths, okay? Eventually inhale to come up. And one more time, child's pose. All right, so if you're hanging there in the air, that's some sort of balancing as well. Your choice, downward dog. If you feel like you have energy, take the vinyasa. Completely optional. Unless you have Pitta in you, you have the fire, and the optional is a must. Okay, look between the hands. We're going to jump through to sit. Beautiful. Let's take a little twist. Left leg straight, right knee bends, twisting to the right. Marichyasana C. Twister. Fantastic. They balance left and right. They help us balance between the back bends and the forward folds. They help us digest in case you're doing this pre or post lunch or even breakfast. Back to center. Let's switch to the other side. And funny enough, but a good digestion really helps also maintain balance and harmony within the body. Back to center. The Konasana, bound angle, super balanced pose. Both feet are in the same position, knees are in the same position. Feel free to sit on a block if needed. If there's room, forward fold. Pull the chest a bit forward. Try to reach down with your sit bones. rediscover the balance in your mind, the Zen mind. Sometimes after back bends it gets a bit agitated. We want to come back to peace and softness. Soft gaze, deepening the exhales. Slowly coming up. Simply take your legs wider apart. We've already done Konasana. This one, Upavishta Konasana. We're not opening as wide. We won't stay here long. We're going to take it as balancing soon. So just forward fold for a few breaths, just to warm it up again. Beautiful. Lift up. Ready, you can take the hands to the side. You may need to bend the knees a lot, or maybe you can lift with straight legs. Either take hold of the feet, the outside, that's the hardest, toes a little easier, or just anywhere on the legs you can hold. And you can keep the knees bent if needed. Relax the shoulders, and if you want to challenge your balance, look up. Okay, relax the shoulders, keep the eyes happy. 3, 2, 1. You're dying for vinyasa? Okay, no problem. If you're not, just stay there for a moment, take a break. If you are, join us. Jump through to your seat. Beautiful. So, just to warm up before we go overhead and do this balancing again, just a mini little short Paschimottanasana, seated forward fold. Just a little bit to warm up the spine. I know we've done plenty of everything, no need to warm up, but extra balancing after the back bends. We like to balance with forward folds, and the next ones are going to be forward folds with movement, so that's why we do the stable ones first. So we're going to go to Halasana and then try to come up and sit and balance, okay? So we're going to do this twice. The first time, we're going to try and do it with the legs apart. The second time, we'll do it with the feet closed. If you want to take a quick look, I'll show it to you in fast forward. I'm going to lift over, take the legs over the head, legs apart. I'm holding my big toes. I'm going to lift up, try to balance for a moment. Boom, rest, okay? The second one, legs together. I'm going overhead, and I'm rolling up, and then try to balance here, okay? It is much easier to do it with knees bent. If this is new for you or the hamstrings are not super open or injured, please bend the knees a ton. Ready? Here we go. We'll start with the wide leg. Let's do it way softer and slower. Slowly lower down. Take the legs over the head. Wide legs. If you can, big toes. If not, hold behind the calves or wherever you can reach. And then bandhas. Come up, look up. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Try to lower down quietly or not. Took me years before I managed to lower down quietly. Here we go. Second one. We'll skip the vinyasa. Feet together. Lowering. Taking the legs over the head. Halasana. Ready? It's easier to look up to keep the balance. Roll up. Maybe knees bent at first. Then straighten the legs. Maybe look up. 3, 2, 1. Release down. You guys are amazing. We'll finish with one inversion. It's really important for balancing as well. Your choice. You can take headstand. If you know headstand or half headstand, ideally just do that. If that's not happening for you today, you can take the legs up the wall or just even lay down with legs up. You can even do the same thing with a block underneath your hips and just relax there. It is super balancing. Here we go. Let's meet in one of these two poses. You can be adventurous and take a vinyasa or just go straight into the pose. You can see Dan's working on the headstand. And Kasha is going to demonstrate the block version. Poof, you got them both. So with the block, you can take the block on either height, a lower height or the higher height. The higher height gives you the more effect of like a shoulder stand. Make sure you're breathing, whatever variation you've chosen. Breath. Steady drishti. Zen mind. If you've released from the headstand, make sure you take child's pose, please. As you release from the block stand, please hug the knees into the chest. Beautiful. Come up to sit for a moment. Close your eyes, take a few breaths. And we're going to go ahead and do a round of Nadi Shodhana to close it up with a bit of pranayama to balance the nadis, the energy channels in the body. If you know it, go ahead and do your practice. Otherwise, 2 middle fingers fold, brief description. Thumb on the right nostril, ring finger on the left. And just count 4 inhale, 4 hold, 4 exhale. I'll guide you through it, or again, do your own practice. So inhale through the left, count for 1, 2, 3, 4, hold, 1, 2, 3, 4, exhale right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, inhale right, 2, 3, 4, close, 2, 3, 4, left, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, one more, inhale left, 2, 3, 4, close, 2, 3, 4, right, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right in, 2, 3, 4, close, 2, 3, 4, left, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Release the hands, close the eyes if they're not closed. Try to breathe through both nostrils simultaneously. Bring your whole awareness to the nostrils. This will help maintain the balance. Noticing your breath, the inhales and exhales, let them be soft, smooth, and pretty deep. Continue to be aware of the breath through both nostrils simultaneously. Go ahead and set an intention to really keep this balance off the mat. And you can set up whatever it is that you need to do. Right? Maybe it's to take a little extra break today, or maybe it's to go to sleep earlier so you can balance the workday with good sleep. Just choose one little thing that you know can help you balance your day today. Maybe set another intention to share this practice with 3 other people. Why not do some good karma to yourself and others? Make sure you like and subscribe to get more of these. And then I invite you to lower down and take Shavasana. I'm going to close off here so you can take as long Shavasana as you needed without me disturbing you. I'll say thank you here from Dan, from Kasha, from myself, wishing you a beautiful everything. Namaste.